This is Philip H. Anselmo, and you're fucking listening to the FANTASM Podcast. Beware. Beware. Beware, you sons of bitches.
Phantasm. Deep inside, this collapse. This collide. War within.
What the fuck is up, and welcome to the FANTASM Podcast. I'm Corey Gorechrist. With me, Dr. Vincent fucking West.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
And we got Phil Anselmo on the show. If you don't know who that is, I got nothing for you. And as far as this film is concerned that we have for you guys today, it's just another one of those things where if you don't know who Vincent Price is, I just got nothing for you. But what do we have for him?
We have Witchfinder General.
You will each be tied in a prescribed fashion and cast into the moat.
Only from the pen of Edgar Allan Poe could come such an horrendous tale of terror. The Conqueror Worm, starring Vincent Price in the most diabolic role of his career.
Look for the devil's marks upon him. Get on with your task.
The distorted genius of Poe creates poetic beauty from pain and uses idyllic love as a tool of torture.
Men sometimes have strange motives for the things they do.
I know.
You've got an accusation to make. I'll get your confession for you. I'm husband to Sarah Lowe's. He's a man who's out to kill both of us.
And it appears to me that we should take steps to see to his death first.
Leave the children at home, and if you're squeamish, stay home with them.
I shall kill you.
Please, leave the children at home.
A.K.A. Conqueror Worm. This is 1968. Of course, the one we're watching is from the Volume 1 collection of the Vincent Price collection from Scream Factory.
Hope you got about $300.
It's if you didn't buy it when you had it, the chance to when it first came out. It's very, very limited run. It was cut in half whenever they started selling this. So.
I think it was, I'd have to look this up, but I think it was in production for maybe 6 months.
It's like 1,500 copies or less.
Well, no, it wasn't set to be limited.
Well, it's because they got
in trouble.
They got knocked in the middle of it.
Which we won't get into that. I don't want to get them in trouble any more than it already did. But either way, you can't get this unless you bought it off eBay or Amazon private seller. But you're looking at about $300.
No, the next two collections, you can get it for about, $60. Because those are still available.
Great sets.
Limited quantities, though. You want to still pick up volumes 2 and 3 while you can.
I don't think these are most people's thing. I mean, I'm a huge Hammer film fan and Hammer horror, and for me, it's and
Zip.
I was fucking a corpse in the back, but anyway, for me, it was like, this is essential viewing, because I never could find the Midnight Movies versions of MGM put out of these on DVD, and all the trolls fucking, sucked them all up.
We already got a nice hanging. I mean, this film is fucking nasty. It's
a short film.
2.5 minutes in, and we already got a witch hanging. This is based on a true story, I believe, from the 1640s. The character that, the witch hunter that Vincent Price plays was a real guy, apparently. Who, the original guy they wanted to play Vincent Price's character is Donald Pleasance.
Yes.
is who they originally wanted for this role. But
of course, again, if you all don't know who Donald Pleasance is, I'm not even going to go there. But anyway, I want to say something about Vincent Price, though, for newer fans out there, or for people that maybe are not a fan of him and they only maybe know him from the Michael Jackson Thriller song, which that's sad and pathetic, and Edward Scissorhands, again, that's sad and pathetic. The guy is
that's like knowing
a cornerstone, a staple as far as I'm concerned in horror.
That's like knowing Doug Bradley for being on Cradle of Filth Records.
Exactly.
It's like, are you
it
serious?
is. It really is. That's a perfect.
Because people have
that's
come
a
up,
perfect description.
I've had people say stuff like that before, where they're like, "Oh, you mean the guy that's on Cradle of Filth albums?" It's like, well, he's also Hellraiser, more famously, but yeah, I guess at least you know something about him.
But for me, this when this set came out, I was like, this is a perfect no nonsense purchase. And
when I saw that, I was like, the Doctor already has that. It's one of those things.
Man, I'm a huge Vincent Price fan. Now,
that's what I was saying. As soon as I saw it come out, I was like,
and honestly, the Scream Factory sets. I want to actually say this to people out there: if you're considering buying some Vincent Price stuff, these collections are actually the best thing that you can actually do if you're going to buy something. Because you get all these great films, and I give the folks at Scream Factory all the credit in the world. They pick some really good films, and they're you just really can't go wrong. I mean, I like all the films that are in Volume 1, 2, and 3. Volume 1, of course, being my favorite, because these are some of the ones that I saw as a kid when I was growing up, because my aunt and uncle were fans of Vincent Price. And and to me, it's essential viewing. I used to watch these on a Saturday afternoon in the summer and in the winter, and it was just something I like to cozy up with. I'd have a blanket and a pillow, and I'd lay there and watch Vincent Price movies. It's same as I did Hammer horror stuff. It was something that I enjoyed from my early childhood, and I hope it's something that maybe you guys can get into. I realize they're slow. They're not like slasher films, and they're not, but there's so much atmosphere, and there's so much depth in these films, I think. And as I've gotten older, especially, I've really learned to appreciate them more than I ever did as a small child. So it's something that I really enjoy. And people that are Universal horror film fans. Well, for me, this is my Universal horror, is the Vincent Price stuff. I'd rather watch the Vincent Price stuff. It's a lot newer.
I agree, yeah.
And it's just, it's just, for me, it's just a lot more fun to watch. I enjoy these. The acting's really good in them, and they're fun, and I don't know. They're just great. I don't really have anything else to say nice about these other than they're just really cool. And what was really neat for me was when I got this, I've got the posters, of course, too, that came with them, and I always shelled out the money on these, like $60 to me, and people, may think that's silly, but you look back on it now, and it's like, well, I mean, I guess it's better than paying $300 and $350 or whatever.
Yeah, you never know when they'll just cut the run on these.
And like I said, if you are a horror fan, and it's something that if you like investing in stuff, even if you never watch it, I always tell people to buy Vincent Price stuff, because once it's gone, it's gone.
Right.
These, as far as I'm concerned, are national film treasures. Even if I wasn't into horror, I love these movies because I grew up with them. So, But yeah, and this is a good film, and I'm rambling. I'm sorry, I could talk all day about Vincent Price.
Well, the story of this film is awesome. Like the actual true story of it. The character that Vincent Price plays is based on Matthew Hopkins. And he was like 25 when he died. But him and one other dude killed more than 300 people, mostly women. Witch hunting or what have you. And there was about roughly 500 people in total that were executed for witchcraft in England. It says between the late 15th and 18th centuries, which means that Hopkins was responsible for 2/3 of the executions, like in a span of 3 years.
Wow.
So it's pretty fucking brutal, and
where was this film shot at? Just some history for me on this that I don't know about.
In Suffolk. The interiors were filmed in converted aircraft hangars near Berry Street, Edmonds, and Suffolk. That's what it says.
Canada?
I'm assuming it's England. Where they?
Oh, England.
But yeah, the climax of the film was shot at the Orford Castle on the coast of East Anglia, which is an English heritage
Is this a Roger
property.
Corman production?
I don't think it is. I know.
I didn't see his name mentioned in any of this. However, it's one of those where it feels like a Corman picture,
It does a little bit, yeah.
but I don't think it is a Corman picture. Yeah, I had somebody actually offer me $100 for this recently, and I told him to go to hell.
Yeah, it's like Lewis Hayward produced this, and Arnold Miller, which I think they produced some Corman stuff. It looks like they did. Well, they did Dr. Phibes Rides Again, Planet of the Vampires.
That's a Mario Bava thing.
Yeah. Vampire Lovers, Cry of the Banshee.
Vampire Lovers is a Hammer thing.
Yep, and Scream and Scream Again, The Shade.
Scream and Scream Again's about to come out. I've already ordered that.
Oblong Box.
Oblong Box is great. I need to buy that one.
Let's see. And so he did a bunch of this stuff, you know.
You know, I told you I didn't have Oblong Box, and then
Yeah.
I thought I did, and I do have it.
Oh, okay.
I've never opened it.
So you need another one so you can open it.
Well, no, it's one of those things where it's like a lot of my Vincent Price stuff, especially just if you guys are interested in this, it's kind of nerdy, but I buy a lot of his stuff and I never open it just because I know it's going to go out of print.
This Arnold Miller guy that produced it,
Ow.
that I guess co-produced it. I mean, his filmography. It looks like he's done a bunch of porn, like 70s porn shit. That's kind of cool.
It is cool.
Let's see. Frustrated Wives. We're ready now. Let's see. Our husbands won't be home till 6, so come on over. That's what it says on the. Oh, it does it's like sexploitation stuff from the 60s.
Interesting.
It's kind of cool, you know.
And this movie's 68.
Yes. This is good though. Usually, and look, this is a testament to us fans that just like horror movies. I mean, it doesn't matter when they came out. Good movies are good movies, and just because this is old doesn't mean it's a boring piece of shit. Vincent Price is, you know, the master.
There are a lot of people, though, I think that have a slow attention span that can't get into this type of horror, but to me it's essential.
This film is nasty. It's very dark. Vincent Price plays like such a fucking nasty character. Like, this is one of his, if not the best, villain role that he plays in this film. It's awesome.
I guess we should also talk about our guest since we're pretty far.
Yeah. I mean, what is there to say, really? I mean,
the only thing
Anselmo, we can't thank you enough for doing.
Yeah, man.
We had a great time. It was just a lot of fun. We saw Superjoint on their recent tour, the Caught Up in the Gears of Application tour. Their performance was fucking killer. They always bring the fucking energy when they play. Anytime I've seen them, it was a good time. The show was great. Phil was great.
Yes, he was very nice. We got to hang out and we got to, well, hopefully you'll enjoy the interview. We had a really good interview with him. I hope he enjoys it if he listens to it. And I want to thank his manager for letting us do it. And it was just really nice, man. The whole thing was really cool, and I was happy to get to do it. We got a longer interview than I thought we were going to get to.
Yeah, shout out to Kate. We really appreciate it. We had a lot of fun with it.
So hopefully you guys will enjoy what we're doing for it here, and hopefully Phil will enjoy as a horror fan. Hopefully he'll appreciate the Witchfinder General.
Yeah, we had a pretty good talk about horror, pretty extensive about his taste of stuff, and he's a big Bava guy, which I respect. You know, it's another one of those things. If you're a Vincent Price fan one way, you know, you got to love the Bava stuff too. And, you know, for the Doctor and I, we're, you know, of course the Doctor's, you know, lived a lot longer and in the years of horror as it's came out, than I have. But I've always appreciated this stuff growing up as well. It's just always been around.
Well, horror is, to me, and I think you've got great taste. I mean, everybody likes different stuff. It's weird because I was thinking recently,
there's just essential shit that you have to see.
Well, there is, but there's also stuff that you just dig. Like I really dig Hammer horror stuff. I really dig Vincent Price movies. I really dig, his horror stuff. Vincent Price did a lot of stuff that wasn't horror, but primarily he did horror. The stuff that's not horror, I'm not that big of a fan, so I don't buy those things that he did. But it's just not something I'm interested in.
Right.
But And everybody likes different stuff, like, I guess my favorite, and this is weird, but I guess my favorite Italian horror director is probably Dario Argento, I guess.
That's good stuff.
It is my favorite. And it's because I had a friend, Peter, that was really into his stuff, and that was my exposure to it, although Peter's favorite director was Cronenberg, and I'm also a fan of that stuff as well, but I really got into Argento, and you've gotten me into Mario Bava I also enjoy, but you really got me into Fulci stuff, which is something that I was never real big into. He kind of dabbled in that, but that's more your thing. Oh, I know you do. But no, Vincent Price, to me, it's essential viewing. If people don't like it, that's fine. I'm not trying to sell anybody that listens to us on Vincent Price. It's just something that I would recommend. If you're interested in some older stuff, definitely the Roger Corman era stuff that Vincent did is crucial, and it's also where my name came from. I was actually named after Vincent Price. But anyway,
and of course, even the Corman shit's definitely worth a watch.
Oh yeah, well, especially the stuff he did with him. I mean, if you're going to go outside of that with Roger Corman, I'd like to recommend to you guys Jack Nicholson's first movie with Boris Karloff, little guy you may have heard of. But Boris Karloff and Jack Nicholson in a movie called The Terror, which is one of my favorite films ever made.
Which is now on Blu-ray.
Yeah, there's two different versions you get. You get the film detective version of it with a restoration, or you can just get this other, because it's something. My dream actually for Corey and I to put out some movies ourselves. We talked about this before. You and I did.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it.
Hold on, it's public domain.
Public domain.
So I'd love to put a Phantasm version of The Terror out, because I'm a huge fan of the film. It literally is my favorite Corman movie, other than the Vincent Price stuff. But it's a great movie. Jack Nicholson's first role, and it's just fucking great. It's a great fucking movie. It's a good one to go to sleep to. It's a good one to kind of just curl up to and go to sleep and just relax with. It's very relaxing, and the castle by the ocean. Anyway, it's fucking awesome. But
of course, for me with Corman would be more. I love Galaxy of Terror, and
you like the stuff he did in the 80s.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Of course, it
is good stuff. And before there was a Scream Factory, Shout Factory was just putting his stuff out.
Yeah,
and I have some of that stuff. Of course, my favorite thing that they put out that Corman did was a space adventure that they did with David Hasselhoff in it.
You got people doing the nasty here.
Yeah, and I want to talk about this. I don't know if you've noticed this yet.
Arnold Miller
there is no Vincent Price yet.
Yeah, he was in the beginning, kind of on the horse, like looking around. Which apparently, in the first day of filming, he fell off his horse, which is shitty.
Jesus,
wasn't a Christopher Reeves incident, thank God. But
yeah,
he fell off his horse.
There he is. Goddamn badass.
The director, I guess, refused to see him, and the tactic that the director had was by not even seeing if he was okay. It would anger Vincent Price and would help the actor portray the character more, enraged. So I guess he made Vincent Price actually mad, so he can be more mad as the character himself, which is.
This butthole?
Yeah, I mean, directors. No, not the director of the film.
That makes sense.
It's basically like, fuck.
This guy's definitely aggravating him.
Oh, yeah. But he's actually pissed from falling off the horse and the director not coming to check on him. He just totally bailed on him so that he could be more pissed off, which, maybe he didn't actually care. I know that he was pretty pissed off that Vincent Price got the role instead of Donald Pleasance. So maybe there was some underlying thing there where he was like, yeah, fuck him, he fell off his horse, whatever. I'll just tell him it was a directorial thing that I didn't want to check on him. But in reality, I'm just a fucking butt. But I guess it was the AIP that wanted Vincent Price to play the role. And thank fuck for him.
And should. I mean, look,
not that Donald Pleasance would have done a great job.
Is great, but he would have been horrible at this. He's not a maniacal butt.
He's the Prince of Darkness.
Well, no, Alice Cooper's the Prince of Darkness, but he's in the Prince of Darkness. But no, to me, Donald Pleasance.
He's Dr. Loomis.
Well, he's Dr. Loomis, but I'll tell you another one he is. He's fucking Blofeld.
Yeah.
You only live twice, kids. Go watch you some Sean Connery Bond and smoke you a big old blunt, but I don't know. You know, I love Donald Pleasance, but I cannot see him playing this role. Because to me, there's no contest. Like, if as much as I like Donald Pleasance, he's not Vincent Price.
Right.
Vincent Price Donald Pleasance is an amazing actor, and he's a great character actor. But Vincent Price has a presence to him.
Yeah. Especially in
He's striking. And you don't fuck with him. And I just don't think Pleasance could have pulled off this kind of a role.
He's the master of the macabre, for sure.
Yeah, man. You just don't. There's no touching it. And, and you want to not take my word for it. Look up any Stephen King, George Romero, John Carpenter. Anybody's going to tell you Vincent Price. And if they don't, then they don't know anything about horror either.
Right.
But most of them will.
I understand a lot of people are older school than this, and they would go as far back as saying, Karloff, which I can understand that, I guess.
No, Boris Karloff and the stuff is great, but the thing you've got to remember about Karloff and any of those other ones, Price was working then too.
Yeah.
He's younger, but he was working then. I'm not really sure. We'd actually have to have you look this up. I don't know what year the first House of Wax is, but that's an old fucking horror film.
I think it was
30-something?
Exactly 10 years before this. I thought it was
like
58 years before that.
No. Give me a date on the original House of Wax. It's old as fuck. 30s or 40s. 50s?
So I was thinking
40s.
53.
53. That's an old fucking film.
Yeah, it is.
So he's around when, like, the end of the original Universal Monsters. Either way, it's classic shit. Vincent Price is the shit. You can just tell by looking at him, and he's so tall and he's striking, and you just don't want to fuck with him. I don't know. That's why when it popped in my head, I thought this would match up well with Phil, because Phil is also striking, and you don't really want to fuck with him.
He's the master of the metal macabre, I would say. As Vincent Price is the master of just macabre in general. I don't know, in this film he just...
Phil's the Witchfinder General, I don't know.
That's right.
But, it's... The thing about it is there's terror in all these films, and it's subtle. It's not something that you just blink and it's right there. It's subtle terror, but it's there.
Well, it's also, it's a lot more of a challenge to make horror movies this way and to make it actually scary with suspense and build-up than, actual presence. Yeah. Just like presence alone than making it all about, something's going to jump out of this door, or, there's some spirit in the house going, There's just so much more to these movies, and so much more character and then story. And
they're beating the hell out of a priest right now.
And I'm the gore Christ. I like just straight up gory films, like Italian films that don't make any fucking sense. But these are just great movies.
This is my shit. This is my jam right here.
This is just good stuff, and you don't know what's going to happen in these films, and they're not really bloody or gory. This is pretty fucking awesome. Just stabbing his back here. And Vincent Price is just he kind of seems like he has no soul in this movie, which is pretty awesome.
They're just torturing. This guy's a priest they're torturing, too.
Yeah. And, Vincent Price's character in the film is like a lawyer, I guess. And just kind of weird.
I mean, they're stabbing this guy to death. It's kind of raunchy.
And he's walking around looking like fucking Shakespeare. It's awesome, though. I don't know, you just can't replicate films like this, you know. I don't know if they made remakes of this film. Probably not. I mean, this Blu-ray looks amazing. So I've never seen the... only seen this on television, so I couldn't tell you a comparison to like a DVD or anything.
Oh
like
no,
that,
it looks way better than the DVD did. The DVD looked like shit. It was a ported like VHS tape. It looked like dog shit.
Yeah. Just looks like it was on.
You know, it's interesting if we have any foreign fans listening. I don't even believe these films are. And in fact, I just checked recently. I know they're not. Obviously, Scream Factory doesn't exist outside of the United States and Canada, but technically out of the United States. But a lot of these films are not available on Blu-ray. Period.
You too may be corrupted by Satan. Which is it's a very iconic role for this, and I don't know. It's just different now how they do things, and it's a lot more like just it's easy to cash in on the PG-13 supernatural ghost shit, and then
Yeah, this movie's not rated either.
This is just straight up satanic fucking witch hunting. It's awesome. Super anti-religious stuff.
Well, it's funny because he's supposed to be a witch hunter, but he's just basically mad. He's just have to take lives.
He's just torturing people.
Yeah, exactly. It ought to be called the.
In the name of God, though, but I think he's just so corrupt that it's.
He just likes taking people out. I don't know. That's his whole fucking thing. He likes to fucking. And you see it throughout the film. It's fun. And she's like flirting with him. She's kind of hot too. And he's like,
she's like, I'm a witch. Why don't you burn my pussy?
He's like, have you remained innocent, my child? He's like, do you expect me to believe that? It's fucking awesome. He's going to shoot his lawyer load in her later. But yeah, look, they just
said his logger load.
No, his lawyer load.
He says logger load. What?
No,
he's not a logger. Maybe he is. I don't know. He's like, I'm going to get some fresh logs when I return.
But his lawyer load.
Okay.
But that guy's already dropping a load. But it's funny if you look in this film too. I mean, I don't know of any other actor in this film, and I've watched a lot of old movies, and it's like he's like the only main actor in this film.
Yeah,
they dropped their wad getting Vincent Price in this, which is it's awesome. He's across the title. He's the man. But he does some funny shit in this movie.
It's about of a selling point now for then for a film that it is now, like from the people that brought you Insidious and Paranormal Activity and The Purge. Rob Crombie presents,
Right.
So it's kind of the same thing now, but you get someone like Vincent Price dropped in there. It's an immediate sell for a horror film, or Boris Karloff, or Mario Bava film, or whatever. But now it's all just like one thing.
I mean, if you want to, these people that want to be a purist about something, maybe I can relate it to you like this. And even though he's not my favorite James Bond, he is one of my favorites. He's my second favorite, but we'll just go by the word of law by most people. If Sean Connery is to Bond, then Vincent Price is that to horror.
Yeah.
So there you go. If you're that much of a purist about James Bond, and my personal favorite for James Bond is Roger Moore, because that's what I grew up with. I grew up with Sean Connery as well, but only in reruns. I'm not that old, but huge Roger Moore fan. But Vincent Price I just think it's essential stuff. If people don't like it, it's fine. If you want to watch Friday the 13th Part 3 over and over and over again, go ahead. I'm not going to. I like that movie, but I don't. It's not a classic film to me. Now, Part 4, whole different story. But love is a anyway. But whatever shifts your gears, But to me, again, you look up his body of work. I don't think you can ignore him. But whatever. people want to. And nowadays it seems like he's forgotten, but that's a shame. But anyway,
of course, at this time,
this is also the first time we've done a Vincent Price movie, so I'm really excited tonight. I'm really, I don't know if you can tell, I'm really kind of pumped up. So
he's pumping her up.
And to give, and hopefully he'll appreciate it, to give Phil a Vincent Price film to me was a huge compliment to him, because I'm a huge fan. I don't know if he's a fan or not. I'm a huge fan of Vincent Price, so I'm assuming he is, but I hope he is.
From my impression I got from Phil is that he owns pretty much every horror movie that we can think of. He's got,
like me.
I think he said that. So yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know all the ones I want.
He's got the Phil vault with whatever you can think of. He's got the library.
You got the Doctor's vault and then Phil's vault. Two different vaults. Different stuff in them too, I'm sure, which is good. Everybody likes different shit. We'll take a second because obviously we're not going to do. I guess we could do movies of this year, but we're not going to do music from '68. But I'll tell you something I will do is give you some music from 2017. My favorite album so far this year. It's not the pick of the month. It's literally just my pick so far for this year, and that's Hour of Penance, Cast the First Stone. And you can pick that up on Prosthetic Records, off Amazon, or if you're doing it digitally, off iTunes.
That's what the Doctor would refer to as a turd wagon.
It is. It's a very, very, and I love
in the best way possible.
I love that in their description they say that they're brutal death metal, and that's what I listen to. So
it sounds like a freight train derailing.
So here's to Hour
Playground.
Yeah, I mean, here's to Hour of Penance. What a great record. We're actually going to be having them on the podcast Friday. So not this podcast, but you will be hearing from the. We're going to have the guitarist, the last remaining original member, and we're going to have also the bassist, who I've been in contact with, and real excited to have those guys on. So I'm real excited about it. But anyway, Hour of Penance, Cast the First Stone, my favorite album so far of 2017. There's been a couple other good releases, but that's obviously it's not my pick of the month. It's straight up my pick of 2017 so far. So we're almost 3 months in, and I think it's going to be hard to top. I'm really happy with it. It's just really fucking good. Brutal death metal, if that's what you're interested in. And actually, I want to thank the couple of folks that liked it. I noticed on our page, I shared recently that was my favorite album so far this year, and they liked it. So cool. And I think I even got a comment there. So thank you for doing that, and thank you for the support. And I'll keep trying to be social, even though I'm not, and Corey is. But I try to be social. I try to be active a little bit more. But
I think it's working.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope people enjoy it. I'm kind of reclusive, and I apologize for that. But I get a little carried away sometimes too. And I'm also sorry for that. But
interesting things.
And apparently, I talk too much. So. According to this asswipe on YouTube.
That came out in '68.
You talk too much. Did I ever tell you that?
I do talk.
The guy on YouTube, Dolphin Buttfucker, told us we talk too much. So I wanted to
get into that in a second.
Thanks, Dolphin Buttfucker.
Dolphin Buttfucker. Oh.
Dolphin Star Rider told us that we when he was watching when he was playing his fucking his new Pokemon game, he found out that we just weren't cool, and how could we get these interviews? So there's just a shout out to Dolphin Star Rider, Beard Metal Supreme, Anyway, 68. What do you got? You got some movies for us?
Some music.
He's got music for us. This is going to be really weird because I don't know any.
Well, we got some Johnny Cash stuff. We got some Elvis.
I like Elvis.
Which is always good.
What Elvis was out in '68?
Speedway, which is an movie he did.
That's a movie, yep.
But it was like his 30-something.
It was his comeback. It
was like his 30-second album or something that he did.
Right.
Which is fucking crazy. Waiting for the Sun by the Doors.
No, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Very controversial frontman.
It is.
Jim Morrison.
CCR's first record came out, Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Interesting. Jens hates them. Wheelchair Fucker hates them.
It's the debut. It's the debut.
He does. He fucking hates Creedence. I do too. I don't like him.
Well, that's put a spell on you, so that's cool for horror fans, I guess. Got some Grateful Dead, Anthem of the Sun.
Jesus, that's not even mentionable.
Which I've never even heard. Tyrannosaurus Rex. My People Were Fair and Had Sky in Their Hair. A lot of hippie shit. You got Tom Jones, a couple of his records. Waylon Jennings.
Tom Jones is cool.
Waylon Jennings. Only the Greatest was on there. Shades of Deep Purple by Deep Purple. Let's see if there's any other stuff on here.
Give us some movies from 68. How about some TV from 68?
Well, that'd be cool, too.
TV and movies from 68. Anyway, we got the priest that was stabbed and tortured. He's hanging in a dungeon, and now this woman's being tortured. I don't know if that's Vincent Price torturing her, though. It doesn't look like him. Nope, it's not. He's on his way, though, because I just said the Witchfinder's coming. And if he's coming, you better look the fuck out. Because you are in deep shit if Vincent's coming looking for you. Oh, he looks so cool there. If any of y'all ever find me on Twitter, I was on Twitter and got locked out of it. And my face is permanently, because I'm locked out of it for good, is the Witchfinder General photo. And behind me is the woman getting put onto the meat hook from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think. I don't know. I can't find my page and I can't log into it. So fuck Twitter, and they wouldn't help me. So I just don't have a page now. I don't know if it was Herbert West or what I was using. I'm not really sure. It was. I went back and forth. I was always changing, and I was enjoying it. And then I got locked out of it because of my piece of shit phone.
We're gonna do,
but it's okay. Whatever. It happens.
Oh man, there's some fucking good ones.
These movies or TV shows?
Well, these are movies. We'll do movies first. I'm going to list some notables.
Movies from 1968.
I'm going to list some notables before we get into the horror, just to get you into the spirit of 68 here. We got 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Wow.
1968. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. That's a pretty popular one.
Yep. That's Marilyn Manson's favorite movie.
Yeah, Planet of the Apes.
Great movie.
That's the Charlton Heston one, I guess.
It's a great movie.
Barbarella, Queen of the Galaxy.
Weird. The Jane Fonda thing?
Yep. You got weird. Something I actually just watched, Once Upon a Time in the West.
Interesting.
Which is a Sergio Leone film who did Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Best Western ever made. My opinion, whatever.
You got Hang 'em High, which is another Clint Eastwood. Let's see. All right. I mean, this was a huge year for horror. I mean, most of these notables are horror films, so I'm just gonna go right into this.
1968.
1968 for horror films. This is probably one of the biggest years for horror. Period. Night of the Living Dead.
Wow.
1968.
Yeah, 1968.
The Doctor's,
in 1968.
The Doctor's favorite Christopher Lee film, The Devil Rides Out.
Let me tell you all something real quick. I'm going to stop on that a second. That movie with Charles Gray that played Blofeld in Diamonds Are Forever, the Bond picture, which I love. It's my favorite Sean Connery Bond film. I highly recommend it. If you've never seen it, buy it. Anyway, wow. The Devil Rides Out, what a great film. It's an absolute larceny that goddamn thing does not exist on Blu-ray in America. It does in Europe, but it doesn't here.
It is another public domain film.
You got to be kidding me.
Didn't we talk about that?
The Devil Rides Out is public domain.
Yes.
Oh, well, coming soon from Phantasm Podcast, our
maybe
first
it's
release.
The Satanic Rites of Dracula.
That's the Satanic Rites of Dracula. You got me all excited. It's Satanic Rites of Dracula's public domain.
I don't know.
That one's not. Hammer owns that one. They'd never give that one up. That movie's a shit.
Dracula has risen from
Christopher Lee, God. Anyway, Charles Gray was the shit, too. Charles Gray was the gentleman in the wheelchair, if we have any Rocky Horror fans out there. That's Charles Gray. Charles Gray's the shit.
Astro Zombies.
Actually, no, scratch that. Charles Gray is not in the wheelchair. He is the one that is the narrator for the entire film. Guy in the wheelchair is somebody totally fucking different. I apologize. Rocky Horror's not... I know Rocky Horror, but I'm more of a Meatloaf guy. I don't know. I know he's like a Republican, but whatever. I kind of like him. Anyway, I grew up with him. But yeah, Charles Gray was the one that's like, you put your hands on your hip. Anyway, that's Charles Gray. Sorry.
We got Astro Zombies, the John Carradine.
Can't do it.
Frankenstein's Bloody Terror.
Don't know that movie.
No idea. The Green Slime.
Don't know that movie.
We got The Ghastly Ones, which is also known as Blood Rites.
Don't know that movie.
House of Evil. It's Boris Karloff.
I do know that movie.
And so that's all the ones I recognize here. Destroy All Monsters.
Great movie. I don't know what this is, if you need that or not. It's fine.
Oh, and here's another one that you guys would definitely know, and that is a little number called Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Never could get into that movie.
I love that movie.
Do you really? Never could get into it.
It came on a lot when I was a kid, so it's one of those things where I can always...
Here's your fun fact about Rosemary's Maybe, Baby.
Rosemary Maybe.
It was made by a pedophile. That guy is a notorious pedophile that made that film.
Really?
Yep. Can't think of his name, but he's a pedophile.
Rosemary's Toddler.
He's literally hid from authorities in this country for years. He's a pedophile.
Roman Polanski.
Is a pedophile. Look it up. I'm not joking. Pull it up. Let the viewers hear it. He's a straight up pedophile.
I'm surprised.
Rosemary's pedophile.
He did The Pianist.
Look it up. See if I'm right.
Let's see.
Let's see if I really am the Witchfinder General.
The Kid Fucker General.
Pedophile General, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's Roman Polanski. He had slept like a... No. I don't feel like dealing with you right now. Damn Satan beast. He was fucking like a 14-year-old or something when he was like 50.
Yeah, 3 years after making Chinatown, Polanski was arrested at Jack Nicholson's home for the sexual assault of a 13-year-old Samantha.
He's a fucking
Galen,
pedophile.
who was modeling for Polanski during the Vogue magazine photo shoot around the pool. He was inducted on 6 counts of criminal behavior, including rape. At his arraignment, he pleaded not guilty to all charges. Many executives
and then fled the country.
His defense.
And then fled the country at some point.
Galley's attorney next arranged a plea bargain in which 5 of 6 charges would be dismissed, and Polanski accepted. At the time of the incident, Nicholson was out of town making a film, but his steady girlfriend had dropped by unannounced to pick up some items. She heard Polanski in the other room say, "We'll be right out." Polanski then came out with Galley, and he introduced her, and they chatted about Nicholson's 2 large dogs which were sitting nearby. Blah, 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 blah. Polanski had packed up his camera gear in Houston, saw them drive away off in his car. He told police the next day after Polanski was arrested that she had witnessed nothing untoward and never saw them together in the other room.
I don't believe
I mean,
that.
he looks like a pedophile, so.
He's a pedophile. Anyway, so if you like Rosemary's Pedophile, there you go. That's why I've never liked it. I mean, he is. Roman Polanski's a fucking pedophile piece of shit.
I had no idea.
I'm a film nerd. What are you going to do? Thought I was right. Sometimes I'm not. I forget. I'm a little hazy because my brain, it's kind of weird. But anyway, Roman Polanski, I'm not a fan. Phil, if you're a fan, I apologize, but he is a pedophile. Anyway, back to the Witchfinder General. This is actually in the one of the things I believe you put together for the trailer for this.
It is where they're trying to get some info out of these guys and find some more witches, so they're pretty much trying to drown them in this.
I'd like to do this at some of the metal shows I go to. It'd be fun. By the way, any European fans we have out there, be sure to catch Mayhem. I did, and it was really cool. They're touring right now, and if you're a black metal fan, any kind of black metal, you should go check out Mayhem because they started it. But anyway, it's 2 cents on that. An Hour of Penance, Cat's First Stone. It's really good. But, yeah, Vincent Price. I love this. I can watch it all day long. There's that poor priest. He just won't give him a break, will he? He stabbed him. Now he's straight up tortured his ass.
And he wants to know where the witches are.
And now you're heading to the tree for the hanging.
There he is. He's done. They should have kept stabbing his back while he was hanging too. Just like that insult to anybody.
You got hung from the tree by Vincent Price.
That would have been a fun way to go. At least Vincent Price killed you, you know. Now he's got all that dough. He's ready to go.
It's me and Wheelchair Fucker. He's the other one on the horse. It's fucking funny. He's like, do we have to kill them? Yes, you will kill them.
Girl he picked up is like holding onto a rope behind the horse, and she's in a wheelchair. Oh, this is a weird time, 1645. It's very specific. That's a nice timepiece. A lot of timepieces, I'm like, I really wanted to live in that time, but this is not a time I would live in. So,
I mean, it's beautiful.
Well,
You'd maybe live to be like 25 years old.
I just never fancied looking like a fucking pilgrim. I don't know. Except for the way Vincent Price looks is amazing. He looks badass, but everyone else just looks like a fucking scarecrow. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's set. That's what the time period.
They look like Lego characters.
It's very specific, though.
But this is real shit, which is kind of cool. The actual characters, of course, the Vincent Price version of Matthew Hopkins.
You should do that as the promo photo for this. Put Phil in like a pirate outfit, or not a pirate, but a farmer, like
Pilgrim outfit.
Farmer pilgrim,
Pilgrim General.
I'm sure he'd be thrilled. But no, seriously though. But I can see what you mean.
Yeah.
You're just like, I don't want to be a pilgrim.
Yeah. I don't. I just don't want to look like that. I don't know. It's cool that
the witch hunting doesn't bother you. It's the looking like a pilgrim. You'd hang.
No, the
people.
witch hunting's awesome.
You would hang people that look like pilgrims.
Yeah. I sure would. That would be it for me. So, just feel like this guy's very pilgrimy looking. Oh, I like that. That church is really cool.
One thing that I love about this time frame, though, of filming back in the 60s, and especially before, you really could make something look a lot older than it was. I mean, this is like hundreds and hundreds of years old.
Yeah.
It's scary to think about living back then. I mean, you're not going to walk upstairs and see somebody on an iPad,
Yeah.
We're spoiled. We really are. I mean, medicine, forget it. All you've got is booze and sex, and that's it. If you've got wealth, I think you just inherit it back then, because I don't really think the job market was really that good either. That, in respect,
you'd be lucky if you get a cow, an ox or two.
You could probably compare that to today. There's that whore from the beginning, I think.
She is a whore.
I think she actually is. She's got a witch thing above her head.
Well, she's been fruiting the lawyer, the Witchfinder, so...
What?
Yeah, they totally, boned earlier.
Vincent did?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
She just, you saw her kind of take her dress off, and then it skipped to the next scene. So.
Oh, cool. He's already fed her his soft meat.
Yeah. He's already laid the law down.
He fed her his classic horror meat.
He laid the law down.
She took his essential Kong.
He was told he was judging her.
I want to ask you this because it's in the realm of horror. It's not horror; it's more science fiction. But I'm really excited about that King Kong movie.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, it's something different. It's
the guys that did it are the guys. It's not the director. It's not the guy that did Rogue One, but it's his team that did Godzilla.
Or whatever.
His team is who did it, and I actually think it looks cool. It's set in the 70s, and it just looks cool. It looks like, if he's actually in it, and everybody's making fun of it, it's like, how much worse could it be? The Peter Jackson King Kong movie was a fucking turd.
I mean, look, we saw Mark Wahlberg in a fucking Planet of the Apes movie, so, we can have King Kong with whoever in it.
Though the reason they're introducing him, they're hoping that it's enough of a success where they can put King Kong in a Godzilla film.
Oh, yeah, it'd be great. I just think...
I like monster movies, man. To me, it's an anomaly that it's being made.
At this point in
you have no interest in it, do you?
No. At this point in cinema, I'm agreeing with you. At this point in cinema, we need a good monster film. We need more good horror movies. We're relying on Scream Factory.
Give it a chance, guys. It may suck. I haven't seen it. I'm not saying I've seen it and it's great, but I am going to go see it. I'm going to go see it first round. I'm going to go pay to see it. If it tanks, it tanks.
We have to rely on the super indie market and be really informed to find out when anything decent is coming along, because a lot of the films that are good for horror now are back overseas.
Yeah.
And we're not getting it overdubbed here. We have to subtitle that fucking shit. So a lot of the the indie stuff is surging right now, slowly but surely, and the foreign market is coming back with a vengeance, and the U.S. market has just turned into such a fucking shit sandwich that, it's very just... I don't even go to the theater anymore to see anything.
I go to the theater all the time. Of course, I watch a lot of bad movies, but
Right.
I don't know. I enjoy going to the theater, but I actually think that movie looks cool. A lot of people.
I want to go see it. You know, I like monster movies, and I like King Kong. I didn't like that last movie.
No, the Peter Jackson movie is a fucking 4-hour turd.
But this one just looks like a zombie. You know, a zombie. It looks like a monster.
John Goodman's in it.
Monster
I love
Mash.
John Goodman.
It just looks really good.
John Goodman's in it.
There's a lot of different monsters in it, which I like. So it's something I'm willing to give a shot. You know, give a try. I'm not doubting it. I don't know. Some angles she looks okay, and then some angles she just looks fucking gross. I don't know.
Well, I mean, apparently
Never tell what these.
she's apparently the town whore. I'm not really sure. I think she's attractive. I don't know.
Well, she's a witch. She's like, I'm doing it for fighting. I don't know. I think I've seen her.
I've seen him in something. You should look him up.
He sees him and her.
Whoever Richard is. I'm serious. This guy has been in something else I've seen. And if he hasn't, then I'm just completely crazy. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's very few things that I'm interested in that are coming out. Like, there's a lot of stuff that people just expect me to be interested in, which I'm not. And I don't know. There's just so much different stuff that comes out. Like, what was that? Everybody keeps trying to get me to go see that Split movie. I don't like anything M. Night Shyamalan has done, ever.
I don't either.
I see dead people. No thanks. I see going to sleepy. It's like, I'm just not interested in your fucking stupid... Everybody's like, Split's really good. It's like, no thanks, I don't want to watch a guy that has fucking mental problems. That's like, I don't need
I don't know if that's the same. I don't know if that's the same guy. Is it Robert Russell, maybe? Or,
Richard is his name in this. I don't know.
Is it?
She just called him Richard.
Mm-hmm.
The guy riding the horse.
Oh, Ian Ogilvy. Let's see. What he has done. Death Becomes Her.
The 80s movie?
Yeah.
Weird.
Let's see. He was very young in this film. He's born in 43, so...
Is he still alive?
Yep.
Awesome.
It was pretty cool. He's fruiting that witch. Let's see.
That's what kept him alive.
That's right.
You're a satanic cunt. Knotted in that satanic cooch and...
Yeah. Find some real notable ones here. I'm sure they're on here.
It went in his urethra.
A lot of TV stuff.
Now, he had satanic cooter juice inside his urethra.
He was on an episode of B.L. Stryker.
That's how I love B.L. Stryker. I love Burt Reynolds.
Let's see. Death Becomes Her.
Anyway, he got some of her satanic goo from her cooch
He was in Puppet Master 5. That's a weird one.
in his urethra. And now he's fucking a noblesman that hunts witches.
Did a lot of TV stuff, not really too much other stuff.
What is all the TV stuff he did?
So he did Babylon 5. He did
Love Babylon 5. Even though it's a ripoff of Deep Space
He
Nine.
did Jag.
Jag is a good show.
Did The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, which is an awesome cartoon.
Weird.
The voiceover for that. Did the Faculty TV show. Murder, She Wrote. Did a bunch of episodes of that.
That's where I've seen him.
It's Wade Foster. He's a bunch of characters on there.
Was he ever in MacGyver?
Oh, he's in an episode of Walker, Texas Ranger.
Weird.
P.S. I Love You. So yeah, he was. There was a Robin Hood TV series, but he was on that.
Weird. Was he Robin Hood?
No, he was Lord Edgar.
Interesting. I knew I had seen him before.
Yeah, so he's a...
I mean, to be honest with you, a lot of times I would put this in, I'd already be blacked out by now, because usually I put these in and relax, like I'm a little kid, you know? I like to watch older films when I relax and go to sleep. Speaking of which, we have any... This is just kind of off subject, but it is an old film. My favorite Richard Pryor, Gene Hackman film is on Netflix right now. It's Silver Streak.
That film's awesome.
That's
your favorite one?
It's my favorite movie with the two of them together. It's also my favorite movie with both of them in it, period. The only other movie that I love Richard Pryor in Superman 3. Everybody likes Stir Crazy. I'll give me Silver Streak any day over Stir Crazy.
I mean Gene Wilder.
I love Gene Wilder.
You said Gene Hackman.
Sorry, I meant Gene Wilder.
I was like, that's
Okay, we're recording this at like 2 a.m., so I'm a little out of it, kids. Anyway, Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor, excuse me. So, yeah.
Of course, the funny thing is Gene Hackman was in Young Frankenstein with Gene Wilder.
Which is weird.
It is weird, but it's funny.
But no, I apologize.
And
so
Superman.
Gene Wilder
Superman.
and Richard Pryor.
He was in Superman.
Yes, he was, so there
1
was
and
a
2.
Superman combo.
So I can see where you got confused right there.
Well, no, I was actually thinking of The Firm, which has neither of them in it except Gene Hackman and Tom Cruise. Because I just watched it recently. Anyway, I'm not making any sense.
This is an Unforgiven.
It's 2-something in the morning. I'm not making sense. Doesn't matter. Anyway, Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor, Silver Streak, is on Netflix now. It's my favorite. If you guys give a shit, it's a good movie. It's not a horror movie. It's just a good movie. It is kind of a murder suspense, though.
Yeah, it's got the vibe in there.
I'm impressed you've watched that. I love that fucking movie.
One of those films that's always on TV, so I watch
It's just good, man. It's funny, too.
One of those things. I watch so much fucking TV.
And you know who else is in that? Can you name the other person that's famous that's in that?
In Silver Streak?
Besides Scatman Crothers from The Shining.
From The Shining. I have no idea.
I'm going to give you a hint. You ready? James Bond.
It's a James Bond?
No.
He's in James Bond.
Correct. He's a Bond villain. Not the famous.
Richard Kiel?
He is in it.
Really?
Yes.
It's amazing.
He's the henchman.
Oh, Jaws.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's awesome. And he's also in Happy Gilmore, which is famous.
And actually, here's you a fun fact about
That's
that.
fucking awesome.
He did... actually, he was in that before he was in the Bond films. Which is weird. Because Silver Streak's 76. And Moonraker's like 79. And Spy Who Loved Me is 77. So that's the first film with him in it. So it was the year before he did that. So he was filming... The year Silver Streak was in the theater, he was over at Pinewood Studios in England filming Spy Who Loved Me, the first film with him in it.
Awesome.
Although to me, the primo Jaws picture is Moonraker, but whatever. A lot of people don't like that movie. Of course, a lot of people don't like Roger Moore.
I love Roger Moore. I love George Lazenby.
That movie,
It's a good movie.
I have to be in a mood to watch it. It is a good movie.
On His Majesty's Secret
But he
Service.
is not even close to being in
I
the
mean,
realm of my Bond stuff.
In comparison, of course not. But
It's fun
as
that you
a
like
movie-
that. I know a lot of people that just love that film. My friend Steve really loves that film.
As a-
Wheelchair Fucker likes that film.
As a movie, I just like it. I like
A lot
it
of
as
people do.
Bond.
It's a long film. It's like a 2.5 hour
It's-
film.
it's
It's
more-
longer than a lot of the other Bond
It's
films.
more of a surprise than anything.
Well, I mean, his wife dies in it. It's a huge story plot.
Yeah.
You know, George Lazenby was in... Here's a fun story. The year before you worked it, he was here at like the very first Fanboy.
I remember that, yeah.
And I went and met him, and he was very nice. And it was really cheap, $20 to meet a Bond.
I know, and he's still a Bond.
He was a Bond. I mean, he's only in one film, but he was a Bond.
And that's like a cult Bond film, you know.
It is. It's not a... But so it was kind of cool. Now, to be perfectly honest with you, was it like meeting Roger Moore or Sean Connery, who I've never met? No. But if I'd met either one of them, I'd shit a Miata. Because both of them, to me, are just royalty. Like, it's one thing to actually say they're royalty, but to me, they're straight up royalty. Like, they're... Like royalty with a T. Can you... sorry. I'm just a little cold. I'm tired of wearing that fucking hoodie. Anyway. Yeah, kind of cool. But, yeah, look, if you like old Bond films, you can watch these old Vincent Price films. I mean, why not? You know.
Yeah, he's the James Bond.
But there are people, and I understand it, and we'll just go ahead and call them what they are, millennials. There are some of those folks, and you listen to us, and we appreciate it. Break the mold. You guys shouldn't just watch, Yu-Gi-Oh! And fucking whatever, Power Rangers or whatever. Watch some Vincent Price stuff, man. Watch some old Bond films.
Watch some Universal.
Because I will guarantee you this: you will enjoy the older Bond films way more than you do the stuff they do now. And yes, more than Daniel Craig.
Yeah, that stuff just doesn't even... it's not even a testament to the old shit. It's kind of just...
I mean, the last film I thought was, but the other three aren't.
Kind of.
I hated fucking...
Skyfall.
That movie's fucking terrible. It's a GoldenEye remake.
Well, it's just boring. I don't know.
It is fucking boring.
People...
I don't even own that thing. That's the only Bond film I don't own.
I get the argument from people all the time where they're... where they're like, the old Bond films are really boring. I was like, really? Because if you actually watch them, because they're awesome.
They're really awesome.
They're really awesome British movies in general, but just like action movies in the 60s, 70s, they're great fucking timepieces. And they're just...
They're relaxing.
I think people...
How can you not enjoy a film, if I may?
I think they have a
How can you
reputation.
not enjoy a film where you're fucking and killing? And getting drunk.
Drinking, yeah.
I mean, it's every man's pleasure. It's a man's escape, is all it is.
Yeah. And he beats women, too, if you're into that. Then
Connery did. Roger didn't.
Yeah.
Connery actually did. It's actually kind of funny.
I don't agree with, but,
it's actually kind of some of them.
The way he does it.
Because in the funniest one probably for me is in fucking Diamonds Are Forever at the beginning.
Backhand bitch slap.
No. He takes this woman's fucking bikini top off and chokes her with it.
Yeah.
It's fucking raunchy.
Well, you gotta think him as Bond, he can't trust anybody, so he's always...
No, I get it. You have to take it from that, you have to take it from that standpoint. I've never
Someone's
thought of
always
it.
trying to kill him.
I'm sure somebody's probably tried to edit that out, but sorry, ain't gonna happen.
He's got to be on his toes, So, it's one of those things where he's doesn't know who's gonna kill him next, so he's always gonna slap a hoe, you know what I mean? So,
one of the things I bought the other day when we were out of town or whatever, they had that original, which I have, but they had that original Bond set, right? But I've already they had a sealed one for $50, and I thought it was DVD, but it was Blu-ray.
Wow.
Because I asked him to look at it behind the counter, and that's why I was out of there so quick. I was like, I'll just spend it all on that.
But
I didn't need that, so that's how much I love Bond movies. I will buy them over. I've got steel books. I've got fucking...
Oh, yeah.
Because I enjoy them.
But the new ones are just... Those are actually boring, because there's just no substance to it. It's just like...
Daniel Craig's not the greatest actor, I don't think, either.
Just not enthralled in it.
I don't really like Brosnan that much, either.
No, I mean, I like GoldenEye. And
I like Timothy Dalton.
Yeah, Timothy Dalton was good, too.
T-Dalt.
I don't know, I just... When you watch the new ones, go watch one of the old ones after you watch a new one.
Roger Moore or Sean Connery.
And tell me what you think of it. Watch Goldfinger or...
And look, it's not horror, but it's just good filmmaking. It's great action films. They're good escapism, too.
So go...
Like this. I mean, you got this guy, he's about to smoke that... I think he's about to smoke wheelchair fucker.
Yeah.
I think he did. Or he shot at him.
Trying to find him
He's trying to find me.
A helpless...
He's like, help me, victim. Vincent West, help me.
But yeah, go watch Skyfall.
He took my cell phone. Anyway.
Watch Skyfall and then go watch...
He's like, you dick licker.
Diamonds Are Forever or...
Yeah, that's definitely wheelchair fucker. He's just
Octopussy or Moonraker or one of those.
They love stabbing people in the back in this film.
They do.
Got another head count there. Somebody else is dead.
There's a lot of deaths in this film. And all of them are just kind of amongst each other, not killing witches. He's like, fuck you, bitch. It's the same thing with these. You can't tell me you go watch Paranormal Activity and then you watch this and you think this is boring.
I know, I don't understand it either. But you know what? You have to have...
Because there's no substance.
And I'll just say this. You have to have an interest in film. I don't care if it's horror, science fiction, action movies, drama, fucking musicals, whatever. You have to have some kind of interest in film to enjoy film. If you don't, then you're just like, I like Van Diesel. You seen that trailer for that new Fast and Furious 20? Looks fucking good. I cannot believe they've made another one of those goddamn movies.
Oh, I can, because it makes money. You know why?
That just tells me right there, and excuse me for saying this, but you are the dumbest fucking human beings in the world. You go spend money to see that shit.
Because there's people that like film, and there's people that just like...
I want to be entertained.
There's some people that just like movie theaters, where they just go see everything. Like, without even knowing what's in it. They're like, they go sit down for like the Great Wall, and they pay money to go see this crap, and they're like, isn't this...
I'm actually getting drugged to that this weekend.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Well,
this week, actually, because because Taro wants.
We
to
want to
see
thank
that or
Dr.
whatever.
Vincent West for being on the podcast. He was a great addition. And, I know he won't make it through this journey, so we want to thank him for all his contributions.
I'm telling you, he's dragging. He takes me. We go see,
Well,
but we also watch John Wick, so he likes different stuff.
you might want to go watch that after you see that Great Wall piece of shit.
It looks terrible.
It's like,
But he will go watch stuff with me.
look,
and we
Matt
go
Damon
watch
was
stuff.
born in Kawasaki, Japan. And, so...
Do you know what? Can we
This
talk
is
about?
his
Let's
birth-
talk about that film
this
a
is his
second
birthright
because it looks
to be in
fucking
this
terrible.
movie.
But do you know what looks worse than that? Have you seen the one with the guy from fucking Sons of Anarchy where he's King Arthur?
Oh, God. I don't know.
And that turd was supposed to come out.
See, now they're bringing back out all
No,
these
listen, that
medieval
turd
things.
was supposed to come out in January. They've moved it to where it's going to be a summer hit. It's like, yeah, good luck going up against anything Disney's putting out this summer. Because it's fucking suicide.
Yeah, as long as they don't put it out in December, because nothing's going to touch that. Nothing.
What's that?
The new Star Wars comes out in December. So doesn't even matter what
Isn't
Star
that a
Wars.
J.J. Abrams movie?
No, he's not even. He just did the first one.
Who the hell's doing this new one?
Rian Johnson?
Who the fuck is that?
No idea.
What have they done?
Nothing good, I'm sure.
Are you dragging me to this? Am I being? We're going to find out right now. Am I being dragged to
Yeah,
this?
you're being dragged. Look, if you can see the fucking Great Wall, you can see the Star Wars.
I'll watch it with you. I didn't say. I was just asking a question. I'm not mad. I'm not fighting with you. I was just asking a question.
But anyway, for the Great Wall, he did that Looper movie.
Who?
Rian Johnson. See, I like that.
Oh, that movie, the Bruce Willis thing. It's a weird movie. She's trying to tear up something mechanical. I don't know what that is.
It's fine.
But anyway, sorry we have a beast of Satan here with us tonight while we're trying to record. If you hear it in there, hopefully Corey's going to edit it out. Anyway, Vincent's chilling. I don't know what he's doing. He's getting ready to go kill somebody or something. I'm not really sure what he's doing. But,
what I was trying to get at was, they have like things like the Great Wall that come out.
Oh, it looks horrible. Horrible.
It's just like there's people just go see that and they sit down in the theater after they paid for the ticket. They're like, "Isn't Matt Damon in this movie?"
Oh, I don't do that.
That's what I mean. You're a moviegoer, but
I
you're
am.
also
I'm not an idiot.
you're the doctor. You like films.
I do like watching
You like
movies.
cinema.
I like sitting in the theater. It's fun.
The doctor spends almost more time in the theater than he does in the morgue. So,
I really do. I like going to the theater. It's dumb, but I do.
but he goes and sees everything. He likes to keep his options open.
I do watch a lot of
He's
stuff.
not going to see the Great Wall because he wants to. He's just going. But that's what he does. But what I'm talking about are these moviegoers that they're walking down the street. And they see a theater. So they're like, "You want to go see a movie?" And they're like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Let's see the Great Wall." I don't know what that is. And then they sit down and they're like, "Isn't Matt Damon in this?" Like, people just pay
I
for
know.
movies. And they have
You're
no
right.
idea.
And they spend a lot of money on
It's
it.
these-
Way to buy a big old buttery popcorn.
These middle-aged fucking couples that want to go on a hot date, and they're like, "Let's go see Fast 17. This is supposed to be what the kids are watching. Let's feel young." And they go watch that fucking piece of dog shit and pay money,
I know.
$12 to see that. It's people like that see those, and also Monster Energy milk drinkers.
Yeah, I can't do the Fast and Furious stuff. I won't watch that on a bet. Like, I just can't deal with it. I mean, I'd rather blow fucking take his Asian outfit down and blow fucking Matt Damon and
Take down his Great Wall.
Well, no, just take down his great load before I'm going to watch Fast and Furious movies. I mean, how many of those can they make? We're driving around cars stealing stuff.
They went as far as CGIing Paul Walker in it. To
That has to look horrible.
It's got to be pretty bad. I don't know. To even keep him in the film just to sell tickets, that's pretty sad.
Speaking of horrible films, I want to thank my wife for this. I had to sit through the XXX Turd.
You had me
film.
cracking up because you were like...
It was one of the worst. It's not bad in the respect that this is all I know how to explain it. I'm going to explain this really quick and really simple.
You told me that I was a piece of dog shit.
Well, let me explain this. I enjoyed the first XXX film. I thought it was entertaining. I never saw the one with Ice Cube in it. And the third film...
Third one's called The Return of Limp Bizkit.
Well, here's how bad it is. They CGI his face while he's doing stunts in it. Instead of just having a lookalike stuntman. It's so ghetto. I don't know why it just doesn't say an Amazon Film original or a Netflix original.
A Hulu original.
It's because it's what it looks like. I'm curious if our listeners enjoy this Netflix original stuff, because I'm gonna let you guys in on my personal opinion. I don't think Netflix has put out one good thing. I like watching their content, but I don't like watching anything that's original from them. That Daredevil show's a turd. That fucking Spooky Butthole, I'm not watching that. Whatever it's called, Spooky Anus. Those 10-year-olds in it, I'm not watching it. I just don't want to see it. There's too many people who've ruined it for me. When maybe it's like 30 years old and I'm on my deathbed, I may check it out. But I get real weird about that when everybody's just like, you haven't seen Stranger Things? Did you want to come down to Panera with me and we'll go to my house and watch Stranger Things? I just don't want... Whatever, I'm not watching it. I just don't want to fucking see it. Dude, you should really check out Stranger Things. Did you want to go see Fast and Furious 13? No, I don't.
Maybe afterward we can go see Spooky Anus.
I just don't understand it. But whatever, that's fine. Everybody likes different stuff, but I just can't fucking deal with their original programming. I think it's fucking garbage, and I'm tired of them taking stuff down that I actually like Kolchak the Night Stalker, which, by the way, is a great show.
It is good.
They take that off and then make me... We need to put up season 3 of Stranger Things. It's really good. Winona Ryder dug up her career to do this. It's like, wow, her only fucking career choice was she stopped fucking Johnny Depp. Real smart. Anyway, I just don't get it. I've never understood it. I haven't watched it. Maybe it's a great show. I get tired of everybody telling me to watch something when I want to walk up to them and go, have you seen Deep Space Nine? It's really good. Have you seen Star Trek Deep Space Nine? It's old, but it's really good.
Have you seen Witchfinder General? It's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I just, everybody likes different stuff, but it's like, it's hard to sell me on that stuff. But, like here's you something weird that I've been watching lately. I've been recording it and watching it when it comes on. Saturday Night Live is actually pretty funny.
Is it? The new one?
I think it is.
I don't know. They just kind of lost me after a while. Because I grew up with it, in the 90s.
I've recorded... Well, let me tell you the ones I just watched. Last night, they replayed the Dave Chappelle one, which is funny as shit.
That one's awesome.
But let me tell you the one that was
nowadays
on
it depends
last
on the host.
week. Last week was the one that had Alec Baldwin host it, and it was funny.
He's always funny.
Oh, it was funny.
See, the hosts are what get me. If the host sucks,
like Atlantic City took a giant crap.
Yeah, the crowd can't save. Yeah, the cast can't save it if the host is just not good. But if it's somebody like Alec Baldwin and Dave Chappelle, it's funny as shit usually. When they work around the sketches with whoever the host is. And Alec Baldwin's been on there like a million times. Of course, this is brutal as fuck right here. They were just beating her with sticks. They're about to hang her. They're about to put her on this whole little rig right here. Yes, this guy got caught fucking around.
I don't know what he did. Vincent Price ain't messing around with it. He's like, yeah, I threw a load into her too. She's a witch killer. He just doesn't want. It's his.
He doesn't want kids.
It's his way of abortion. He just has the woman killed.
Yeah.
And then your fetus will die.
That's a good idea. That's pretty brutal. It's like, yeah, I'm done with you. I'm not going to be labeled a serial killer at the town, though. I'm just going to have my fucking government kill you instead.
Jaws.
Yeah, this is brutal.
It is, and I mean, this movie's not rated. If you guys are curious, there's no rating on this film. It's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a rating on this film. I would imagine it would be R.
It's an older movie. It's not a gore fest. It's not fucking bloody, and it's there's not.
It's pretty crude,
though. There's not boobs in it, but for its time and for what it is, this is fucking dark. I mean, this is a morbid ass film, and it's a true story. And it's funny because famously at the end of this film, there's a little disclaimer, and it says all the characters in this film are fictitious characters, and any depiction or relation to real people are completely coincidental. Which, I mean, this is based on true events that happened, so it's just kind of funny.
This scene specifically. I mean,
It's getting closer and closer to the fire. You can like feel the.
Oh man,
That's goddamn brutal. Yeah, they just. I mean, they're just lowering her further and further, and I mean, she can't even move because she's just. Your word, choice of words. She's a briquette. So
she is a briquette.
I mean, that's it. They're lowering her straight up into the stick pile of the flames too.
And he's smiling. I'm loving it. And there's wheelchair fucker. That son of a bitch. He's trying to turn on me.
This is bowl cut. He was like, maybe what the doctor's doing is wrong. And you're like, shut up, wheelchair fucker.
You know what you should have done for the photo? You should have... you actually should still do this. You should take Phil's face and stick it in the Vincent Price wig.
Yeah.
It's funny. Oh, man.
He would appreciate that. Maybe we could... I don't know. We can get him the Witchfinder wig. Next time I see him. If he ever listens to this, Phil... We're gonna get you the Vincent Price Matthew Hopkins wig, and if you wear it for a photo with the pilgrim hat, it'll be awesome. We got Captain Hook, and he's not happy about his girlfriend, Tiger Lily burning. So now here's wheelchair fucker. He's stating his case.
Is that wheelchair fucker?
It is wheelchair fucker.
I didn't think that was him.
Pretty sure
he's had like a bath there.
Yeah. Oh, there's something about Vincent Price's eyes even. He's just a very haunting character.
He is. He's fucking awesome.
There's not many people where their presence is intimidating and scary and memorable. You just don't get that now. Now it's all about CGI effects. And
it is, and that's something else I wanted to say. I mean, these movies are literally... the actors drive the film.
Yeah, it's not about ghost children.
There's not an explosion that pulls these people out the fucking side of the window. And
it's not ghost demon children from...
I love it. He's walking around with that fucking gun, too. See ya.
Oh, yeah, he's walking around with it. He's fucking speaking with it, too.
He just took out a farmer. Or a pilgrim.
A royalist sympathizer, as he says, or in our terms nowadays is faggot. But
right.
Not in a disrespectful sense, but, doesn't mean happy where we come from. It means royalist. I don't even remember what they called them.
It's not castle. This is fucking beautiful. I don't know if it's fake or not, but it looks cool.
Oh, it's got to be real. This is near the end. This is the Orford Castle, I think. Is where this is. Of course, her rack is very nice.
I think she's hot.
I don't know. A couple scenes, I guess it's just her face. She's like...
No, I mean, I'm not saying she's a fucking beauty queen. She just looks like a whore I could throw one in.
Yeah. That's what the Witchfinder thought, too.
Exactly, and he did. I had never noticed that. I thought that was fun that you pointed that out tonight.
Yeah, he pointed it out in. He probably did it in real life, too. He was like, it was nice working with you. Come to my trailer between 3 and 3:30. And then... and he's fucked. Got blood coming out of his nose and everything, just from a gunshot. Oh, I thought the blood looked kind of cool like that, where it's like really bright, like pink.
It does. It's crazy looking.
Now the blood's really dark colored in a lot of movies and shit. I don't know. I kind of think the bright in this.
I mean, it's acting,
more effective.
and I like it because I don't want everything to look real and feel real and all this other crap.
Yeah, there you go. She's already getting tied up.
He's going to put his hot poker in her. Wheelchair fucker's gonna stab her.
Oh, they're stabbing the fuck out of people in this movie.
In the back too. It's raunchy.
It's like a goddamn prison yard in this film.
Yep.
Oh,
the wheelchair fucker's the one stabbing her.
It's wheelchair.
Ladies, y'all can find him on Whisper under wheelchair fucker.
You can also find him in the Yellow Pages. Under wheelchair fucker. If you ever need a late night assistance. God, that's fucking brutal. If Very effective. You don't need special effects or.
He's got a Scion with a wheelchair rack on the back. Whatever it was I was saying.
With a wheelchair rack on the back.
Yeah.
Or was it wheelchair mount?
Wheelchair mount on the back. It was something silly. I don't know what
Wheelchair
it was.
mount on the back.
I needed to eat. We hadn't eaten like all fucking day.
There you go. There's a nice upshot there. Good job, director. Keep going. It's nice when the director's looking out for the male audience. Because it goes with horror. You want to see beautiful broads in the wrong place at the wrong time. And semi-revealing clothes, you know. And then you just want to see Vincent Price tag him with crosses. Because that's always nice, too. We can only take it. It's Satan. Something to spare your agony. How much we got left on this thing? This close to the end. I'll put some audio on for you guys. You can hear some of this great dialogue.
I shall kill you.
So you have no proper authorization then? What do you mean? From the magistrate, authorization?
Not here with us, no.
Well, we'll go back and get one then. All right, then I'll let you off.
Master Webb, go and see what is the matter.
Yes, I'll help you. What do we do, Matthew?
We shall carry on with God's work as before, man. And fetch Captain Marshall over here. He shall kneel before his wife and watch her suffering.
But Matthew...
Do it, man.
It was cool. He had a very haunting voice, too. Vincent Price even said that this was his best performance.
Really?
Of his career, yeah.
He did?
Mm-hmm. Not his favorite, but I guess he considers it his best. Oh, man.
Jesus.
Damn. Well, we got straight up axe murder, folks. If you guys don't think the old school shit is awesome, this is pretty fucking awesome. Jeez.
It's killing one of my heroes.
Jeez, and they fucking shot him. In the face.
Took him away from me. You took him from me. You took him from me. You took
Give him another round. Give him one, too.
Oh, they're going to.
No?
I thought he was going to run after him. Yeah, but this scene is filmed in an actual castle, which is awesome.
My God, have mercy on us all.
All the other interior shots, like we said before, was filmed in aircraft hangars.
It's interesting.
It's a beautiful castle.
That's it, kids.
What a way to end a film. So, there you have it. Witchfinder General, a.k.a. Conqueror Worm. If you guys are bored of that, then I don't know. I don't have any hope for you, because I think this film is fucking awesome. And it's actually really, really bloody, and it's very morbid. And the vibe of it is, I don't know, it has a very good flow to it. It's not, you know, drawn out by dialogue or anything like that, like you would expect. It's just a great movie. It's why I love it so much. It's just got a good vibe to it, and it's very dark, and it's just a good movie.
It is a good movie. I like it. I've always liked it. I just think it's good. I mean, it's anything with Vincent Price in it I like. I always like it. It's not my favorite film, but I do like it. I'm glad we watched it. I think it's fucking cool. Oh, okay, so it is British. Interesting. The International. It's a strange film company. I'm never familiar with that, but yeah, and this stuff looks good. And if you want to spend $1,000 on it, you can have it too.
Filmed entirely on location, the Ministry of Defence headquarters staff stand for practical training area, the Suffolk and Cambridgeshire Regiment, Lavenham Parish Council.
I bet this stuff probably doesn't even exist anymore. It's probably got a goddamn business on it or a water park or something stupid.
Walmart.
Yeah, unfortunately, or McDonald's.
Oh, in the old countryside of Suffolk in England.
I'd love to go there. I'd love to do a Horrors Hall of Grounds with Sean there. It'd be fucking awesome. Oh, wow, you got the outro with Vincent.
The last you cut down in the prime of life. But when people are dissatisfied with their public officials, said officials often get the axe. Not surprisingly, reviewers were somewhat critical of the film's graphic violence, though I dare say that level of violence has been surpassed many times since. However, such reviews only serve to enrich the box office receipts. Don't you find that odd? No, you wouldn't. Oh, yes, my revelation. I pronounced this tale truth, and it was. The exception being one interesting footnote in our sordid history that was tonight misrepresented. You may all have felt justly avenged when Hopkins was savagely hacked to death in the finale. Theater audiences were said to have cheered out loud. But kind ladies and gentle sirs, this was a falsehood presented for your entertainment. For the real Matthew Hopkins, this greedy purveyor of agonizing death, lived to ripe old age and died quietly and peacefully upon his own bed. So much for justice. Next week's film is a chilling blend of horror, science fiction, science fact, and espionage. I urge you to be present for Scream and Scream Again. As dear old Matthew might say, there are ways of ensuring your cooperation.
They're about to put that out, I think, aren't they?
Fucking awesome.
82 Iowa Public Television's fucking... But yeah, they got in trouble for all that anyway.
That's what
I'm going to edit that out, but... Yeah. It's a price. Good stuff. And, you gotta love it. Anyway, I think it's a great film. It's unfortunate it doesn't exist on Blu-ray. It'd be cool if it did, but, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta pay $1 million for it if you want it, but... there's other ways around it, you know. You guys can do your download thing, or if you have the DVD of it, then get the DVD.
There's probably a Blu-ray rip of it out there somewhere.
Yeah, as long as you guys can watch this film and appreciate it and keep it around. It's definitely worth having in any format. So definitely get on that. If you want the Vincent Price Volume 1 collection from Scream Factory, you'll just have to empty your wallet and maybe a couple of your bank accounts. But
it's pretty expensive.
It's,
yeah,
you know,
I've not seen it.
$250-$300 is about as low as you'll get.
It's expensive.
And that's, like we said, it was cut short during its very small run that it had already, and it that's just where it's at. So pick it up any way you possibly can. Just watch it. If you want to go back and watch this episode with us, you're more than welcome to. We'd appreciate that. Follow along. And we have Phil Anselmo on the show, which is amazing. We had a lot of fun. A very good conversation. A lot of insight about his appreciation for horror and you know, the Reformation of Superjoint, which you guys already know about, but it's, you know, we got back into that. A lot of good stories that he has. This guy's just, you know, it's been all around the metal world for a long fucking time, and he knows his shit. He's got a very good ear for music.
It's a cool record label.
Yeah, Housecore Records. Pick some shit up on
cool
there.
Festival every year.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that as well as Horror Film Festival, which he might have some insight about, you know, what's in store for 2017 with that, if you know, we're not really sure. So just check out the interview and let us know what you guys think. And we will now bring you the Phil Anselmo interview. So thank you guys for listening. Check out Witchfinder General, a.k.a. Conqueror Worm, if you haven't. If you just now somehow found out that Vincent Price, you know, who he was, and hopefully not if you're listening to this, but, you know, if we're the people that kind of convinced you to, like, yeah, I should probably go check him out now, then
it's good stuff.
Go do that.
It's good stuff. Awesome. You don't have to, but, you know, you can always go watch Fast and Furious 14, but I'd recommend you didn't.
That's a horror movie in a different direction. But, yeah, so enjoy the interview. And as always, from us and the Doctor at Phantasm, stay fucking gory. Alright, well, Corey Gorechrist here, Dr. Vincent West. We are here with the man that needs no introduction, Phil Anselmo. How you doing, man?
Good, brother. How you doing?
Doing great. You're on the Super Joint Tour. It's getting near the end of the tour for it, correct?
This leg of it, yes.
Alright, and how's the tour been going so far?
I think it's awesome. Great. The smaller the room, the better.
Right, yeah.
I love it, man. And the kids, oldsters alike
right.
are singing the lyrics to the new songs, and
it's amazing.
It's good shit, man. Good
right.
shit.
And then talk a little bit about going back into Super Joint after so many years.
It's nothing really that hasn't been covered, but between Kate Richardson and Corey Mitchell, rest in peace. When we were doing year 2 of the Housecore Horror and Film Festival, year 1 I did the gig with Down, so it was like you know, what band, and they were like, do Super Joint, and I put it out on my radar completely, or off the radar completely, and I guess when it came down to the wire, basically said, let me check with Jimmy.
Sure.
He said he was open for it, and I said, well, let me check with Kevin. He was wide open for it, so I said, wow, I'm the only asshole with the door closed. Let me find the key and unlock this motherfucker. And, you know, the choice of Blue and Steve, who I've been jamming with the Illegals.
Love the Illegal stuff. It's
great,
awesome.
Good stuff.
New Illegals
good shit.
Blows it away.
Oh, wow.
I might give you a sneak peek.
Sure. That'd be amazing.
A little bit. But, so picking them to jam with was easy. And, we got in the room and it was fun. It was really, the chemistry between the guys, everybody getting along, and no bullshit, no drama, no fucking extra burden of anything. It just fucking playing the songs, and it ended up being a blast, and here we are.
Awesome.
You know.
And then we'll talk a little bit about the Caught Up in the Gears of Application record going into that.
Whatever you want to ask.
Just the writing process for that, coming back into Super Joint, jamming it out.
Super Joint mindset to me is really just the New Orleans feel itself meets hardcore, really, you know, in the vein of Black Flag, of course. Maybe and a handful of other hardcore bands. You know, it's between Negative Approach and Agnostic Front, etc. So, you know, it's like fucking, you know, you take all those type of influences and you relive them and you understand why you love them to begin with.
Sure.
And, you know, so the writing process was make sure it sounds like Super Joint, make sure it feels authentic and valid.
Absolutely.
You know, so that to me, the validity was the important part, and so far so good.
Awesome.
Love the production of it. It's really
it's real. It's like, you know, no clicky trigger drums or anything like that. Just raw as
Kind of
fuck.
gets away from people now. You know, I've always been a fan of the raw sound.
Yeah, of course, and that's I'm regressing now. That's
right.
where that's where my regression comes in. To bring on the production,
right?
Less of it, personally.
That's why to be a fan of you and then to see you as a producer yourself and find these bands, it's awesome. The ear you have is great. It's uncanny. It's awesome.
Well, it is,
the bands
you gotta have an open mind.
Sure.
A band like Childbite,
They're great. I really like.
Extremely different band, and
yeah.
You'll see tonight very excellent live band. Just fucking really on their own trip as far as their influences. I mean, I could sit here and tell you what they remind me of, but it doesn't really do them any justice.
Right.
When you gotta, experience Childbite for what it is, there's many different influences that just happen to come out the way it does, and I love it, and I wish more innovation upon more bands. That would be great. I love innovation.
Oh yeah.
Because we've already got set genres.
Sure.
So it's like and also set sub-genres and sub-genres.
Definitely.
And cross all sorts of different lines and avenues of music. So it's like, why not look for the bands that are doing it the best, And,
yeah.
I can't say I have a handle on all of those because I don't,
Right.
It's a worldwide thing, and I'm a fan of a lot of different bands that, are tied up in record deals and stuff like that, and, plus we are a do-it-yourself, record label without tons of fucking money to spend or anything like that, so money's money for anybody these days.
Yeah.
So I only get the opportunity to work with so many bands at one point and one time, so it's like everybody asks me, where do you get the time, where do you get the energy, where do you get the, and I'm like, man, it's from the second I wake up, I'm like thinking of something, so
right.
I gotta see it through.
Sure.
It's introduced me to a lot of really cool bands. I like the variety. It's some
Absolutely.
great stuff.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
I really do.
Some good stuff.
And then, speaking of housecore, do you want to talk about how the Horror Fest came about? That's
It's
huge.
slowly coming around, this year. I guess we're looking at November again, and
awesome.
There's a bunch of bands on the table, and as far as thematic things go, as far as films or directors or anything like that, I think that's still up in the air to a degree, and nothing I can announce.
Sure.
Officially until I get the fucking green light,
Right.
because right now everything's. It's fucking February 1st.
Right.
Everything's kind of in a holding pattern until the green light, that proverbial green light.
Yeah. And then you've been doing the horror convention circuit as
Yeah,
well.
man,
How's
that's been
that
a
going?
blast. That's been fucking
I'm going
fun.
to Days of the Dead this weekend in Atlanta.
Oh, you're
so
going there?
I know you've done
I
that
wish
a couple
I
times.
wish
yeah.
I'd be there, man. Fuck, man.
But you're going to Mad Monster will be your next one, I think.
You
South
probably
Carolina.
know better than me. That's it.
But I was actually.
I
we usually.
I get tapped on the shoulder and say, "Hey, this Wednesday we're flying out to," and I'm like, "Oh, fuck."
But how's
really?
the convention circuit working out?
Awesome. I think it's great.
You get to see a lot of your guys you like in horror movies, or
well, that and me. When you get to hang out with guys like Chris Sarandon and stuff like that, and sit there and talk shit and talk Lovecraft and this and that, and their take on some of my favorite stories. Like, he was in a wannabe Charles Dexter Ward type movie, and he let me know that they were low on funds and this and that, because that's like one of my favorite Lovecraft stories of all time.
Sure.
Charles Dexter Ward, The Strange Case of. So I always wanted to ask him about that. So that was an interesting conversation. And, then you got your Ginger Lynns and ex-porn stars, stuff like that.
Oh, that's got to be great. Yeah.
And they're cool. They're so down to earth and so real, Even guys like Ric Flair, shit like that.
Showed me that.
We get
you guys
along.
did like a funny video.
Well, yeah, it was really because I had the opportunity to basically tell the entire table of like 8 assholes from The Walking Dead to go fuck themselves because they had fucking absolutely I hate using this word, but dissed fucking Ric Flair's wife.
Really?
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I just had to remind them that their success is fleeting and they will be killed off one day, and there are plenty of pretty faces in Hollywood to take their place. And when they get older, hopefully they stay pretty, for the cameras, because it doesn't last all that fucking long. So enjoy while you got it.
Not all quote-unquote raw talent.
And you're, not to mention they were cowards and sat there and just shook. So that was fun. More power to Ric Flair.
Oh yeah.
Damn right. Woo!
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah.
Oh yeah. And are any of the actors and stuff you met during the conventions, any of them fans of your music?
A bunch of them.
Really?
Shit, more than I would ever even fucking garner. I was very surprised.
That's awesome.
I'm terrible with names and shit, but I mean, like, they're the main dude, boyfriend guy from Gremlins. I forget his name. Dark haired cat.
I know who you're talking about now.
He was unbelievable. He was like, he knew every fucking song in the fucking book and all kind of motherfuckers, man. But him right off the bat, like a guy like that, you'd never think would be a Pantera fan, but it's like, thinking of obscure people, it's like, wow, really? Unbelievable.
That's cool.
He almost knew more than I did. I was like, God, what a memory you have, sir.
That's right.
And then Bill Moseley.
William Moseley, what a fucking credit to the human race.
He's a very stand-up guy.
I've known him many, many years. And really, we were introduced, I think, as a offset of each other, me being a musician, him being a horror guy, and interviewed in that type of way, but it was me mostly talking about horror and him sitting there going, wow, what movie is that again, and then we developed a friendship, and since then, it's like, anytime he's in town, he stops by the house, hangs out, comes over.
That's amazing.
And then,
That's awesome.
But, then making music with Bill was, it's almost like I wish I would have known his capabilities then as I do now, because I would have been a lot tougher on him.
Right.
Because the dude he can sing. He can fucking sing, and he's got an incredible range.
Sure.
He's not a baritone like I am. He's a tenor, so he can really, really, honestly hit higher notes, and he knows how to harmonize with himself. He can do a lot of things, and he's got very interesting visual type of lyrics, and I'm always appreciative of that.
Sure.
And then, he's very hard-headed, too, when it comes to lyrics, like Corpus Crispy. It was like, Bill, can we please just call the song Corpus Christi? No. Even my wife, she wants me to, she doesn't like it. I keep telling her it's Corpus Christi. It means something to me. I'm like, yeah, well, you can't argue with that. So if it means something to you, then here's my silly guitar part, and you sing, brother. So working with Bill's great, and actually even better is being his friend.
That's really cool.
He's a dynamite person. He's just an inspiration, really.
Yeah, he's been in the
big time inspiration, and it's now February, so it's been about 14 days, if not 10 days, away from me being off booze for 1 year.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it feels awesome. And he's been 20-something years sober. So it's like...
It's weird in February also for
So I'm
me.
catching up to him, It's like, this month...
In February it'll be...
A year.
This month it'll be
a year.
6 years since I quit smoking.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine.
Actually,
one thing I...
It's for the throat.
Yeah.
Like
That's just for my personal thing. It wasn't for health. I was like,
Lemmy's last days,
Rest in peace.
We played a festival together, and he wanted to see me, and of course I went in and talked with the Great One, and I'd known him for 2 decades before that.
Right.
He was always, especially when I was young. He was always the one to tell me that, music and your lifetime in music and your popularity and whatever, it's here and gone. It's a fleeting thing, and it's also ebb and flow. There'll be points in time in your career, if you keep going, where you'll be misunderstood, you'll be not popular, what you do won't be in, and this is back when I was in Pantera, and he said to me back then, he said, what you guys do really doesn't sound to my ears that different from what we do. And at the time I was thinking to myself, well, yeah, it's different, but I guess it isn't all that different.
Right.
Figuring it's drums, bass, guitar, format, vocals format, I can see where he's coming from. But the bigger picture now in hindsight is the fact that, music is ebb and flow. And the more bands that you're in, the more different size crowds you'll have, type of crowds you'll have, this type of, and all that shit. And it's like, looking back on it, I remember, like I said, about a month before he passed, or a couple months before he passed, when we did the festival together, I reminded him of that story, and he remembered, and he says, well, Phil, let's have a cigarette to our voices. And I said, I hear you, old boy, let's do it, man. So we smoked a cigarette together, and
it's amazing.
It is.
Yeah, man, but he very, very real guy, very, very down-to-earth guy. And he will be missed.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. And we actually went and saw him in Charlotte, one of the last shows he did in the U.S. before they went over to Germany.
I will let you know that he was miserable during those last shows.
He had to leave the show.
A lot of pain. but he did not want to leave the stage. And I can feel that, you know, because I'm a walking injury, you know. I mean, I wake up and I feel like I'm in a car wreck every fucking day of my life. Blown out a lot of different parts of my fucking body, you know, doing what I do. And I realize that, you know, these days I don't have to go up there and destroy myself to get the fucking point across.
Sure.
You know, I have to. I'm doing an interview, man. Yeah. Get out, dude. Get out.
I love Jimmy.
He's funny.
Anyway, but yeah, man. He hated the pain, Lemmy.
Yeah.
But loved the stage, and I can relate to that.
We appreciate both of you for what you've done. And
No, but I mean, his complications, much more for real than mine. I mean, mine are real, but his was, it did exactly what it was intended to do. It killed him, and I guess we're all heading down that route eventually one day. And I mean, what do you want? You know, a heroic, everybody, you know, jumps off a cliff. It doesn't happen that way, you know.
Just gotta live till you die. You know?
Yeah, it just happens.
And let me do that to the fullest, and I believe you're doing
and,
that to the fullest as well.
And do what you do best till you can't.
He fucking owned it, so, you know.
Yes, he did.
And I know, you know, you own it definitely too, and we appreciate that.
Damn right.
You gotta own it.
Corey had never seen him, so we went through hell to get to the show because he never got to see Motorhead. So when we got there, it was just amazing.
Right in front of the stage,
we got down there. It was like, there's the gunslinger.
Yeah, it was perfect. It was
First time I saw Motorhead was 1985 with Agnostic Front and Hallows Eve.
Oh, wow.
In New Orleans.
Sounds killer.
85.
So Agnostic Front was
Were you
really
born
good
yet?
too. No.
They
5 years later.
Right. Exactly.
He was. He's someone.
I was in 5th grade. Yeah.
There you go. So there you go. That's how old I am.
That's all right.
That's amazing.
I think I'm at
how old I am. Yes, it is amazing.
I think I'm at. Well, he calls me the old spirit, but I have a young old
That's
spirit.
all right. It's good to have an old spirit, old soul.
That's right, old soul.
Definitely.
That's me. But Phil, we can't thank you enough for doing this with us. And
sure.
It's amazing.
Any horror questions?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
What's your favorite horror movie?
That's impossible. That's like asking.
If you could narrow it down to top 5, maybe.
What about the first horror movie you saw?
I grew up with it, man.
I did too. I saw Exorcist when I was like 5, and I watched
for
horror movies
me,
ever
it
since.
was like Black Sabbath.
Okay.
Fiend Without a Face. How Awful About Alan. The original Don't Be Afraid of the Dark with Kent Darby. You know. Fucking Attack of the Crab Monsters. You know, I grew up with it all.
That's awesome.
Everything from Starman to Godzilla to fucking The Exorcist and all that shit, you know, so. But I am a collector. I'm a historian. I got the original Frankenstein that's 15 minutes long.
Wow.
Shot, I believe, right in, I think the name Thomas Edison pops in there.
Wow.
So I have that. A massive black and white collection. I love television horror. Basically, all-American television horror and even British television horror. So,
of course,
my collection of all those things are pretty vast, and got a shitload of comrades around the world who I gotta definitely give a big shout out to.
Sure.
For sending me all the great stuff that they've sent me around the world that really you just don't get to see unless you know the name of it. You can scramble it on YouTube and find it, but
right.
Pardon me. Unless you know the name of it, unless you know exactly what you're looking for, it's like, nah, you know. And it's also an appeal thing too, you know. It's like, you know, some British television horror the BBC did back in the day might not appeal to a modern young millennial's vision of what horror might be, but
sure.
It's not necessarily true. It's once again, like music, film, specifically horror and genres of horror are like food. You love it, you hate it, or you're indifferent
right.
to it.
Sure.
You don't give a fuck about it. It's like, you know, one way or another. So
right.
It's all in the eye of the beholder, man. So hail horror, hail.
Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, love some horror.
Oh God, yes.
Now, do you like any Italian horror stuff?
Of course.
Do you Fulci or more Argento?
Fulci.
Me too.
Hands down, fucking easy answer there. To me, Argento goes nowhere, but it's beautiful looking.
Yeah.
Fulci also goes nowhere, but at least it's gory.
Nasty. Yeah.
It is fucking gory. And case in point, I think my favorite Fulci movie, House by the Cemetery.
Love that fucking movie.
Makes no sense at all, but it's just, I mean, the
doctor living in the basement or whatever.
The Freudstein. It's Dr. Freudstein down there somehow, I guess, you know. And weren't they supposed to move out at one point, but never did? And yeah.
They just get stuck there.
We got to move out here tonight. Yeah. Okay, baby, I promise. And then the next scene, it's like, ready to go to bed. You know, it's like, well, wait, I thought we were leaving this fucking house of ours, you know. Anyway, so, yeah, fuck, Italian horror. Just remember, there is only one Mario Bava.
Oh, yeah, Bava's.
Only one Mario Bava. Black Sabbath.
Yeah, Black Sunday.
Kill, baby, kill. And I could keep going, but the atmosphere, the lighting, the creativity, I guess mood falls under atmosphere as well. It's tough to beat Bava. Mario Bava, genius, innovator, and I would have to say tremendous influence upon our beloved Fulcis and
I agree with that,
Argentos, etc., etc.
Oh,
you cannot not agree,
right?
Because all you have to do is take a look at what came first, the chicken or the fucking egg, and definitely it's fucking Bava.
The Bava came
who was
before.
laying the fucking eggs all over the fucking place. So it's like, you know.
Yeah, we reviewed Bay
truth.
of Blood on our podcast, one of the first ones we did. So.
Bay of Blood, like kind of like the Friday the 13th of its time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a box copy of it.
Awesome.
Yeah, my VHS collection is ridiculous.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I got some crazy shit, man. But I will say, there's one movie, I like bad cinema as well.
Yeah, it's fun sometimes to watch the campy stuff.
Yeah, but I think there's been a new level, and not only of confidence and power, but of absurdity.
Right.
You gotta make fun of your old shit. and yourself. You got to learn to laugh at yourself. Jesus Christ, be absurd. Thrive on it.
It's fun that way.
You got to see, and if you haven't seen it, I wish you good luck, and I hope you're as excited about it as I am, and you turn as many people onto it as possible. But the Greasy Strangler,
I've heard so much about that. Is it good?
Great.
Those guys are going to be at that convention you're going to.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. And I'm going to handshake them. I am going to stick out my hand and shake their hands. And if they allow me, I will hug them with nothing but pure enthralled fucking worship, because we're wrapping up. Because I will say this: there has not been a more fearless cast since Cannibal Holocaust.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
And we're talking about two completely different type of films and two completely different types of phobias. And whilst the Greasy Strangler might make you feel very uncomfortable at times, bravo. Bravo to them. What a great cult classic that shall remain. I'm calling it a cult classic right now. And when it came out, last year, the end of last year?
I'd never heard of it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Amazing. I've got a box copy that I brought.
Wow, okay.
Only one on tour. The Greasy Strangler.
Special Director's Edition.
Oh, God. I got
yeah.
Blu-ray at home.
Yeah.
So
that's what we review is the Blu-rays.
We'll
pick it up and we'll do it. We'll do it for you maybe. For this interview.
But don't pigeonhole it into a horror film. Call it a cult classic.
Right.
Okay.
Classic.
Gotcha.
And you can mark my words on that.
Awesome. Well, you heard it here, guys. Greasy Strangler, the official recommendation from Phil Anselmo on the FANTASM Podcast.
Definitely.
So go check that shit out, and we'll definitely watch it ourselves. Maybe review it on our podcast with this episode.
Good luck with that. Because there isn't a scene that goes by where you see what you even think you're gonna fucking see. It's like...
That sounds like a good time, honestly.
It's I guess if you're a glutton like I am,
right.
For it's not necessarily punishment, but it's more like what's the great director Waters? John
Waters.
John Waters, of course. Yeah, I always want to say Roger because the Pink Floyd thing.
Well, it's Pink Flamingos, but it's
exactly.
That's where it comes in. Yeah, it fucks with you.
But Women Problem, that's my favorite one. But it's like Waters, but not.
I can.
And this is this guy's first movie he's ever done.
Really?
Damn.
It's going to be tough to top. It's really going to be tough to top unless this dude is just a plain fucking genius and has got his ducks clearly in a row. It's like this. The Greasy Strangler is like the first Ghost record. You know, it's going to be tough to beat.
Check that out.
Yeah, we'll give it a shot. It's been out for a year already, like on Blu-ray.
I guess.
Huh.
It's out. It's for sale.
All right.
Hit up your, what is it Google or
Amazon.
Amazon. There you go. It's on Amazon.
Hit on your Google store.
Nail it.
Whatever.
It's worth every fucking penny.
Awesome. Hell yeah. Well, we'll wrap this up. Thank you so much for doing this, and it's been an honor talking to you.
Absolutely, brother.
And we'll be at the show later, so we'll see you there and do your thing.
This is Philip H. Anselmo, and you're fucking listening to the Phantasm Podcast. Beware. Beware. Beware, you sons of bitches.
Coming soon from Phantasm.
Walk through this door and enter a nightmare of supernatural horror. 7 doors of death. Evil's fatal omen.
Who else is here? There's nobody here. I can feel a presence. Somebody else is in here.
7 doors of death. Kim Henkel, author of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, calls it terrifying, unique, surreal, one of the best horror films I've ever seen.
Mommy. Arthur?
On a gloomy, rain-swept night, a ferocious battle is being fought between 2 girls and a vicious, deranged fiend on a murderous rampage. Paralyzed with fear and on the verge of hysteria, they try to escape its chillingly merciless savagery. They know it's there, behind these doors, the 7 doors of death. These doors conceal a hideous poltergeist waiting to unleash its sinister revenge.
Now look, Emily. I've lived in New York all my life. And if there's one thing I've learned not to believe in, it's ghosts.
Seven doors of death. Your blood will run cold as the icy fingers of death tighten their stranglehold.
I must be going crazy. Good boy. Good boy, Dickie. You made them go away.
Time has run out. Death is erupting. Violent, berserk, untamed. Can anyone survive? Enter, if you dare, and see 7 doors of death. Terrifying, unique, one of the best horror films I've ever seen. Kim Henkel, author of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, filled with unrelenting excitement, a truly original haunted house thriller. Tobe Hooper, director of Poltergeist. 7 Doors of Death. It will scare the hell out of you. Rated R.
They broke into the mall for the wildest all-night party of their lives.
It's dead meat.
But you're never alone. In the chopping mall.
What's that?
Robot blood. Shopping mall, where shopping costs you an arm and a leg.
Let me eat.
Why the hell won't you leave us alone?
You are gonna die!
Orion Pictures presents Wolfen. For centuries, they have been hiding in the rubble of your cities. The concealed threat. The invisible terror.
Chris! You scared me.
They can sense the rhythm of your blood. Hear clouds pass overhead. See where you are blind. A force so deadly, it will tear the scream from your throat. Wherever you are, they are.
Somewhere in the world, every other day, a corporate executive is assassinated.
Team her up with Wilson.
Murphy or Mahoney, I'm comfortable with.
You're uncomfortable?
With surprises.
There's not a trace, not a speck of metal. Nothing softer could have ripped and ravaged like this.
Is it an animal?
Well, it ain't human. Do you realize how many people disappeared without a trace? Something out there might be eating people.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, get out of there!
What do you think it was?
You were being lured. We were being separated.
By what?
The carnivore. You got yourself some kind of meat eater.
What
is it?
It's Wolfen. They're only animals. But they might be gods. In their eyes, you are the savage.
Wolfen.
Little piggy went to the market. This little piggy stayed home. This little piggy has roast beef. This little piggy had none.
This little pig ran wee, wee, wee all the way home.
Meet the biggest porker of them all, my boy, Buddy. Buddy's not just another pretty face. Some say he reeks of class. Others say he just reeks.
Buddy's a good boy, but he has what you might call basic hygiene problems.
Sometimes Buddy likes to mess around.
Slaughterhouse.
And sometimes kids play in Buddy's slaughterhouse. And they make fun of Buddy. But Buddy likes to play with his friends.
Let me go, fat boy!
Slaughterhouse. Don't scare the poor thing, boy. Take off that damn mask. That's better.
But don't mess with his hogs. 360 pounds of flavor mania.